Well, the Mississippi woman who shot and killed an escaped monkey yesterday says she feared for the safety of her children. The monkey became free when a truck carrying a group of monkeys overturned last week. Most of the animals were killed. 2 of the rhesus monkeys are still free. The 40-pound animal is among the breed most medically studied on the planet.
Yes. Hey, guys. Peace, family. Hope you're doing well and blessed today. You're tuned into the sound of the only one mic podcast, Mic Drop Show, where we break down today's biggest moves in culture and community through conversation that matters. I'm your host, Carl Gerard, and I appreciate you locking in with me. Whether you've been following every episode or this is your first time tuning in, this space is all about truth, clarity, and conversations that truly matter. I'm not here to tell you what to think, folks. I'm just here to lay it out for you. All right, so let me go ahead and set this scene and rewind the clock back to October 28th. A truck carrying rhesus monkeys overturned on I-95 near Heidelberg, Mississippi. The crates busted open and the animals bolted into the woods, and the town was suddenly on alert. Officials first warned that the monkeys could be dangerous or carry diseases, but later, Tulane University, which owned the animals, clarified that they haven't been exposed to anything infectious. Still, that first message stuck with people, and they were scared. The word disease just spread faster than anything throughout the community. Now, here's where things take a turn. A few days later, on a quiet Sunday morning, Miss Jessica Barnes, and let's go ahead and applaud Jessica Barnes, a real American hero and a mother of 5. She looked out her window and sees something moving in her yard. Her 16-year-old son spotted it first. It's a monkey, one of the escapees. She says that her first thought was, I need to protect my kids. So she grabs her guns, steps outside, and next thing you know, she hit the monkey twice, ending the threat. But that moment, that choice lit up debates across the country. Was it fear, instinct, or overreaction? Was she protecting her home or responding to panic caused by mixed messages from the authorities? Now, I want y'all to hear this straight from her, all right? This is Jessica Bond, and she's talking about what went down in her own words, y'all. I want y'all to pay close attention to what she's saying, and then, collect your thoughts from there, and then we'll jump back into it. So here we go. Miss Jessica Bonds, applaud her once again. Protecting her family, and here's her story, folks. Check this out.
So first, can you spell your first and last name, please?
Jessica Bond, Jessica Bond.
Perfect. Nice to meet you, Miss Jessica.
Nice to meet you.
I guess we'll start simple. What happened to you yesterday?
Well, I was sleeping for the most part, and my son heard the dogs barking because I had told him the night before, Saturday night, that I was hearing noises in the bushes. And I told him that it was strange noises. And I said, y'all just don't go outside. I said, if you do, let me know. So I guess he was alert and he was aware about the noises. So when he heard the dogs barking, he looked out the window and he called me and said, Mom, the dog's outside barking at something. So I said, well, see what it is. I was still in bed and I was getting out the bed trying to get my clothes. So he said, Mom, it look like a monkey. So I said, well, I said, record it. I said, make sure because, so we could have, proof of it, that it was in our yard. Cause I didn't know if it was just running past or, leaving or whatever. So he said, I can't get a clear shot. He said, but Mom, it's the monkey. So I said, oh snap, let me get my phone and let me get my gun. Let me call, the police and stuff. So when I come out, I got in my truck and I bagged up down this road and I stopped about right there. And he was on top of that bin right there. And he left from that bin and went and jumped on the railing of that porch. And, I sat in my truck and when I got out, I said, okay, do I sit here and wait for it to run away, run to somebody else's yard? I have a 3-year-old and, what if it come back out, hide in the woods and come back out and try to attack her later on? And, she can't defend herself from a wild monkey and, all it takes is a little scratch for her to, develop something. And we don't know what these monkeys have, because 1 minute they have this, and then the next minute Tulane is saying they don't have anything to avoid lawsuits and stuff. So, I'm not going to take my chances with my baby versus infected animal. So I did what any mother would do. And I got out and I shot at the monkey, and he had a look like something was wrong with him. It looked like something was wrong. And I love animals, and I have dogs, I have a cat, I have a rabbit, and she has had a turtle. We love animals. So it's like not like I'm an animal killer, I didn't want to just kill a thing, but I mean, it's my baby versus the animal, a dangerous animal at that,
No, I understand. So when you call 911 or you call wildlife and forestry?
I called the game warden, and I called the 911.
Okay. So how did the call go with the game warden?
Well, they were just saying that they was going to send somebody out, asking for the address. And that was basically it. Mm-hmm.
So you killed it before they got here?
Right.
Okay. Mm-hmm. So when they got here, did they do any cleaning up, or they just scooped it up?
Nothing. And then he picked it up off the porch and drug it through here and put it on the back of his pickup truck. I would have thought he would have put it in a bag, once he picked it up off the porch and put it in the bag. So now I have to disinfect and clean off everything through here, because, you can't see where the blood trail is at. So, and then you would have thought that they would have came through and searched the woods in here and see if the other one is around. Mm-hmm. The other one could have been sitting in the woods watching everything go down. So
I'm sorry.
Look, the other one might be mad at me.
Right. Yes.
He might be somewhere watching. So, it's crazy. You can't just sit here and just say, oh, well, let me just put it in a cage and feed it until somebody shows up,
So as far as the monkey's behavior, or I know you probably didn't get up close on it. Mm-mm. Did you see anything on it that looked strange, out of the ordinary, or did it just look like a monkey?
Well, it had like tattoos on it. Okay. You could see a tattoo like on him, and it looked like a black spot, but like when you zoom in on the I'm sorry, I heard something. But when you zoom in, you could see like it was a tattoo on it. Mm-hmm. And these is lab rats basically. They getting tested and poked on. You never know what they really have. Those 3 things that they name, that's probably just a few of the things that they have. Mm-hmm. And so
how do you feel now? Today, it's a new day.
I mean, I hate that it happened, because I do love animals, but Tulane need to own up to it, and they need to get somebody out here looking for the rest of them.
Mommy, you tell her to Marcus.
Okay.
Is there anything else you want to say?
Get out here and find the rest of these monkeys. And for all the people that's being rude and negative, get out here and search for the animals and find them yourself. So,
I don't think I have any other questions.
Okay.
All right. She said the other one might be in the woods watching everything go down. Yo, this is wild, man. This is wild. So she said he was watching everything like, oh, snap, they got him. Yo, but yeah, man. And the fact that they actually just drug the monkey through a property. I mean, come on, y'all. Y'all got to do the right thing. And whoever's in charge of dealing with this type of situation, you gotta do the right responsible thing and go and disinfect this woman's house, man. She got babies in there, man. Come on. That don't make no sense. Now you could feel that emotion. You felt that fear, that instant. And she was out there. She wasn't out there like hunting for monkeys. You know what I mean? She was just reacting. And that's what happened. So it's like, the fear and the uncertainty of everything just made everything just go from 0 to 60. And listen, I can't hit this button enough, y'all. I got to applaud this beautiful Southern sister for just doing what she needs to do to protect her family. Because like she said, if that baby would have got scratched by that monkey, you don't know. You could have another pandemic on your hand for all you know, man. You know what I mean? So you got to be careful. I did hear a report prior to getting ready to set up for this that another one of the monkeys was killed or found dead, one of the two. Either way, the monkey is no longer with us, folks. So that's 2 down. So we still got more to go. It's 2 down. So I mean, they just got to do the right thing, man. Like she said, go out in the woods, man, find the monkeys and stop playing. You know what I mean? So this is what happens, man, is that they were out there, they're running around in these woods, telling people that there was no infection risks and all that. But you can't trust what people are saying in that regards, because like she said, Tulane is probably trying to protect itself from any type of possible lawsuits that comes from all of this. You know what I mean? So, this story is just bigger than the monkeys and mom and everything. It's about what happens when everyday people get caught between official warnings and real life fear. Now, Jessica, having 5 kids from ages, I believe she said her youngest was 3, and I'm not sure the oldest one was 16. And you hear that and you see, that changes the story. That changes the view. You know what I mean? You don't see a shooter. You see a mother standing in the middle of confusion and like just protecting her babies. You know what I mean? As any parent should. So at the end of the day, whether it's Mississippi, Milwaukee, Manhattan, every parent can relate to that instant. Not my babies. We ain't doing that. You know what I mean? So listen, I want to ask y'all this. If you were Jessica, what would you have done? You know what I mean? If you was Jessica, I mean, this is a no-brainer, folks. And again, I'm not here to tell you what to think, but this is a no-brainer. Disease monkey running around in my backyard. If I have the means to, get them up out of there. That's your babies. That's your babies. Now, should the authorities have warned people differently? Do y'all think that should have went down, or do you think they just like, we're going to sweep this one under the rug? You know what I mean? There's nothing to see here. Hopefully we won't get sued. You know what I mean? And how do you balance that scientific and work research, transport, and all that, man? How do you do that and keep the public safe? Because this truck allegedly overturned, and all these monkeys got out in the woods and did what they had to do. So, you know what I mean? Again, there's one more out there somewhere. As at the time of this report, 2 down, and there's 1 more to go. So, hey, guys, listen, hit me up on Instagram, X, or, check out the YouTube channel. You can leave stuff in the comments here at the Only One Mic podcast, and we can talk about it further. I'll read your thoughts, and respond accordingly, okay? So, once again, guys, truth is stranger than fiction. I mean, disease monkeys, running around out here. We've seen this movie before, folks, and we know it don't end well. The Only One Mic podcast, folks, is available on all major platforms that you stream your pods on. Also, check us out on YouTube, past and current episodes and all that. And what you could do, too, hit that like, share, subscribe button, and that helps a lot. To my understanding, YouTube has something called a hype button now. I don't know how it all ins and outs of it works, but I know it kind of boosts up the algorithm a little bit, the traffic, I should say, to the show. So if you find that there and you can hit it, hey, man, I totally appreciate it. It helps us out more than you think, man. Instagram and X, you can catch us on at The Only One Mic P1, Facebook and LinkedIn at The Only One Mic Podcast, and email us at theonlyonemic00@gmail.com. Your voice, your questions, your take could be featured on the show. So again, guys, who's that peeking out your window? Nobody now. Especially if it's a disease monkey. Get them up out of there, y'all. We got to protect our babies in the community, y'all. The Only One Mic podcast, Mic Drop Show. Call Gerard is out. Peace.